Guys, and welcome back to the channel and back to my daily challenge mini series. Today's daily challenge is a general one, and that is to kill 2 cougars. Now, cougar spawns are all over the map. You can find them in a lot of different areas, but if you've been playing for any length of time, you know that especially online, it can be difficult to find those cougars depending on how many players are in the lobby, because you have those other players that are also competing for those same resources. You have other events spawning. So I want to show you an easy method to get at least 1 cougar, and you can repeat it. You can do this mission again to get a second one, or you could find your second one out in free roam, and I'll show you a couple of my favorite spots for that as well. Let's get into it. Okay, go ahead and fast travel to McFarland's Ranch, and then you can see James Langton is right outside of town here. So I'm going to put a waypoint, and you're going to ride up to him, and instead of doing a regular free roam mission, you're going to select blood money missions, and it's going to be Stagecoach Stickup. Now, keep in mind this mission will be on a cooldown, so once you do it once, you do have to wait before you can do it again, but it's pretty much almost guaranteed at least 1 cougar. If you're lucky, sometimes you'll get a second one. So go ahead and go into this mission, and then I'll show you what to do from here. As you're loading into the mission, you can check your map just to make sure it's leading you straight up ahead onto that ridge up there. If you've gotten the correct version. It's extremely rare for me to get a second version of this one. Maybe I made it up. I feel like I've gotten a different version at some point that does not give a cougar, but I just about always get this version of the mission. So go ahead and ride up there. There's a little camp up there, and you're going to search 1 clue. Just search 1 clue. And when you do that, a whole bunch of badger are going to come after you. It's actually super adorable. I hate killing these guys, but you are going to need to kill them. So the badgers are going to run down at you. There's a bunch of red dots. Go ahead and kill them all. Once all the badgers, all the red dots are gone, you are going to search a second clue. And then you're going to see red show up on your mini map again, and that is going to be coyotes coming in. And try to kill all of them if you can, because if you don't, the third one's going to get a little bit messed up. So kill all the coyote, and then you're going to search a third clue. Now, I didn't get the last coyote, so when I searched the third clue, a whole bunch of coyote came back. I thought that was going to mess up the cougar spawn. It did not, but go ahead and kill the coyote, and then where you rode up onto the ridge, that is where the cougar usually comes up. Now, normally the cougar is going to come up and try to attack you. In this case, I think the coyotes messed it up a little bit, so I run down, and I can see it down there. So go ahead and double check. If the cougar doesn't run up at you, it doesn't mean it's not there. And very rarely, sometimes a second cougar will spawn. I don't know if you hang around, if it's more likely the second cougar will spawn, but you can always try that. You can always try to kill 1 cougar and then kind of go back up to camp and hang out for a minute, because a second one might show up. I've definitely had that happen before. So go ahead and kill your cougar. You've got 1 of your 2. If the second one doesn't show up, go ahead and complete the mission and get back out into free roam. Now, if you have the Moonshine role, there's actually an even easier mission that you can do to get 1 cougar. I like this one because I actually don't have to complete the mission. I can just back out to free roam if I want to at the end of it. So you can either go to the Moonshine Shack, or you can open up and go to progress in the menu, and you're going to go to story missions, and there's the 2 options there. Story missions are a life of shine, and you're going to go down to a bitter means to the bitter end. When you load in, you're going to see that there are 3 searchable areas. These are areas that you're going to go to get ingredients if you do want to complete the mission. But I'm basically going to mark this bottom area and ride up. As you start to get closer, you're going to notice a camp up ahead and a guy pointing a gun. And what's happening is usually a cougar is attacking them there. Now, I'm going to ride straight in because I don't want these guys to kill the cougar before I can get there. And I'm going to shoot at the cougar and kill the guys at the same time. But you can see here, I do manage to get a cougar. It's nice and easy. And then from here, again, if you want to complete the mission and get the money, gold, and XP, great. If you're just looking for cougars, because this is kind of a long mission, you can just hit, if you're on PlayStation or if you're on controller, at least for to get back to free roam, however you do that on whatever platform you're on. For us, it's just left on the D-pad, and you're just going to go all the way down to where it says quit to free roam. Now, if you do not have the Moonshiner role, that is perfectly okay. What I would do from here is either do other things that you had planned to do, or you can try to find a cougar in free roam while you wait for the James Langton mission to come off of cooldown. And I can't tell you the exact timing for that because I can't remember for blood money missions if it's half the time of a full cycle, day and nighttime cycle, or I want to say it's half the time, so it's like 24 minutes or something like that, but I'm not actually 100% sure. If somebody's done it, let us know how long the cooldown is for those. I don't think it's the same as a legendary bounty where you have to go full day and nighttime cycle. But anyway, there are lots of spawns all over the map. Again, I want to show you kind of my favorite little rotation, and that is to fast travel to Annesburg, because there are a ton of cougar spots in this area. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start traveling north from Annesburg, and I'm going to take the train tracks specifically because there is a spawn along the train track. So as I ride up here, I'm going to slow down a little bit as I get into the area, and sure enough, actually a cougar spawn. So that was nice and easy. Again, in online, it's not always that easy because there might be a lot of people in the lobby and again competing for resources, but the first spot I checked did have a cougar today, so I lucked out. Now from here, if there isn't a cougar, I'm going to keep taking those train tracks up, and I'm actually going to go up toward Dragix, and I'll show you here on the map because there's a couple other spawns up in that area once you get on the other side of the water, and so I'm going to check that area. Now, as I'm riding up, I do notice a blue dot, and if you see a blue dot at all in the area you're looking for cougars, the chances of a cougar spawn decrease dramatically. So what I would do from here is I would actually just change lobbies. So I would go to a new lobby, and I would try there because I just don't want another player to mess with a potential spawn, or they might mess with you and then they're going to kill you anyway and you won't be able to get it. Okay, there are a couple more spots that you can try in this area. So from here, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go back down the train tracks. I'm going to cross the water again. And then after you cross the water, there's going to be a road that kind of veers off to the right a little bit. And you can take that road to the right up. And then as you come up the hill and kind of curve around to the left, there's another cougar spawn up there. If you've ever been in the area, it's probably caught you off guard at some point because it'll spawn in and you just don't realize it. I've definitely been caught off guard there and been attacked and been thrown from my horse. But that's another cougar spawn there. And then I'm going to mark another spot on the map. You can keep traveling down. There's a little V further down on the map. It's there's a little kind of tomb thing that you can go down in is in the area if you're familiar with like story mode, or if you've ever collected, and there's a collecting thing you can get there. My tree is there. If you've watched me long enough, you know my beautiful tree that I love is there. But anyway, there's also a cougar spawn. It's not quite as common, but it does exist. You can even see there's a little cougar symbol on the map because it is a spot that cougars do spawn. So it's just another spot if you're in the area and you're still trying to search for them that you can try to get that cougar to spawn so you can get your last cougar. The final cougar spawn I'm going to show you in this video is also in the Annesburg area, but you're going to have to travel back to Annesburg because you're going the opposite direction. Now, this one, again, I don't think is a super common spawn. When I first start riding out, there's 2 black bear on the left. So the cougar can spawn on the left there, or it can spawn on the right. So I kind of ride down a little bit. I don't see the cougar, no worries. I actually go into my map because I'm going to take a picture to show you some other locations you can try as well that aren't in the Annesburg area. And sure enough, as soon as I go on the map, I hear the cat makes his little noise, and he has spawned in. So sometimes just sitting in the area, going into your map, doing other things, you can actually get these animals to spawn in, and I was able to get the cougar there as well. So it was a pretty good day for cougars, but the Annesburg area does have a lot of different spawn points, so it's a good area to try if you want to just ride around and you don't want to fast travel necessarily from place to place to place, checking out different spots. You can actually hit quite a few of them right in this area, just by riding from one spot to the other. All right, and that leads me to the Ropke Map, which I know I reference all the time because it is a great tool. There are lots of other cougar spawns that you can check out. There's some really great ones in the Great Plains area, right outside Beecher's Hope. There's one near where Sean spawns, and then also near Bear Claw Camp is a really good one as well. Also outside of Tumbleweed, just north of Tumbleweed, if you've ever gone for that agarita or collectibles over there, there's a really good cougar spawn there. So check out the map. If you're still struggling to get that cougar, there's other spots that you can try. Or again, just wait for the James Langton mission to come off cooldown and you can easily get a second cougar without having to be so stressed out about it. Okay, guys, thanks for sticking with me. This is a much longer video than I had planned. I hadn't planned to show the actual spots on the map, but there were some good cougar spawns today, so I wanted to show you some specific locations. However, the easiest way is going to be to do that James Langton mission, and if you have the Moonshiner roll, to do the Moonshine. You can easily get 2 cougar that way. It doesn't take that long, but if you'd like to check out those spawn points on the map, just make sure there's no other blue dots around because that can mess with it. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave it a like. If you have a great cougar spawn that is very consistent for you, let us know in the comments section below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.